Folks, don't let me down and make me a liar. This is my first stop on my visit to the countries that are so graciously and lovingly hosting those agonizing refugees fleeing the aggression in Ukraine. We are so happy to see you, and they do it so well. Hail Mary, full of grace, the Lord is with thee. This is Our Lady of Perpetual Help Parish in Biblice, right outside Cracovia. And I was here with the pastor, Father John, and the mayor, the mayor of the village, and Shimon. And what's so beautiful, are you guys going to have something? Is the whole parish has rallied around. Father John told me when he spoke to his people at Sunday Mass, he said, we are going to have hundreds of refugees. Good to see you all. Would it be okay if we welcomed them to the parish? And they gave them a standing ovation. So, and they're not in a shelter. The families of the parish have welcomed them.
2 families live here.
But they can come here and get their food, the diapers and everything, and the supplies that they need, but they feel part of the family. They were telling me that the kids are even going to school, see? Because they want life to be as normal as possible. Anyway, I told them, we love you, we will not forget you, we will pray with and for you, and we will support you. And you all at home have done that. You make me feel welcome. And I'm just seeing the results of that. So hear me say thank you. Hey everybody, Cardinal Timothy Dolan again. Thanks for tuning in. You know I just came from Rome and now I'm in Krakow visiting the refugees from Ukraine. Kind of a natural question we all ask ourselves is, where would you go to see the church? Now, in one way, you'd go to Rome. You'd see the Holy Father, the successor of Peter. You'd see magnificent churches, great history. I want to tell you, if you really want to see the church, come here to Krakow. And you'll see hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of agonizing Ukrainian refugees who are being embraced and loved and welcomed and fed and healed and housed and sheltered and schooled by the people here, the parishes. I was just in where they're giving out the food as the refugees arrive on the trains with the Archdiocese of Krakow.
They came from Kherson, that's now occupied by the Russians.
The Knights of Malta, Catholic Near East Welfare Association, Caritas International, the Knights of Columbus, Aid to the Church in Need. You name it, they're here, and this is the church. This is where the church is right now. Thank you for what you're doing. I'm honored to be part of it, and I thank you for being part of it. Good morning, everybody. Cardinal Timothy Dolan. Thanks for tuning in. Now I'm in Poland. I've been coming to you from Rome, but we're here in Poland. Good to see you all. Visiting the refugees who have fled here in the number of 3 million people and are being taken care of with compassion and love and so graciously by the people of Poland. Thanks be to God for them. We can't but be here without thinking of Pope St. John Paul II, right? And this morning, on Saturday, April 30th, we had the honor of offering the Holy Sacrifice of the Mass here in the chapel in the Archbishop's residence. But it was the residence of Archbishop Karol Wojtyła when he was Archbishop of Krakow. As a matter of fact, this is also where he was ordained a priest in 1946 and where he was ordained an auxiliary bishop of Krakow in 1962. This place had a great influence in his life because it became the seminary and the catacombs during the Nazi oppression of Poland, when the very courageous Cardinal Adam Sapieha gathered his seminarians here to form them to be priests. And it was here that young Karol Wojtyła was ordained at 26 years of age on the Feast of All Saints, 1946. So to be here, feeling that solidarity with him, the communion of saints, Jesus, and of course Mary, inspires us in our journey to bring that love to these suffering refugees. Stick with us. I appreciate your company. What a day it's been here in Slovakia, and I just appreciate the fact that you're tuning in to listen and see what's going on. I've come to Slovakia on behalf of people who are helping and seeing the people that need help. You are an inspiration. Thanking the folks here for the inspiration they're giving the world in welcoming the refugees. You won't mind me saying how proud I am of our church agencies. I'm thinking of Catholic Near East. I'm thinking about Catholic Relief Service, Knights of Columbus, Aid to the Church in Need, Knights of Malta, Catholic Charities. I've seen them all today. Now, we're just talking about this little city, Košice, this city and one Catholic diocese that has taken care of 30,000 refugees. Now, you multiply that by 100, 200 to see what's going on all throughout Eastern and Central Europe.
And I could see how the bombs were exploding.
But I'm so proud of what the church is doing.
We are waiting when we are going to die.
We heard a lady today who was in a desperate situation in Ukraine, literally bombs going off all over her, running with her children out of her bombed out apartment. And she said, "Where can I go? I know.
And then I came here to this church.
I'll go to the church. I'll go to the church because it's a sanctuary, because I'm always at home there." And she said it was the best choice she ever made. And now, because she was sanctuary in the church, they've taken her here and she feels at home. They don't want to go back home, and they're ready here to provide the means to go home. But in the meantime, they want to take care of them tenderly, graciously, and lovingly. And they're doing it, folks. You be proud for the help that you've sent over. Let's be grateful for the folks that are here and the faith, hope, and love of these brave Ukrainian refugees. Hey everybody, welcome back. Cardinal Timothy Dolan here. I appreciate you accepting my invitation to tune in and follow my journey here to the countries bordering Ukraine that are so heroic in their assistance. I'm here with my friend Nick, and I met his father and mother. They have this beautiful hotel here in the countryside. We're not far from the Ukrainian border, where it's a depot for food and supplies that are badly needed. Now, here's something interesting. You've heard me say just how much my admiration is so intense for the well-oiled machinery here of getting aid and blankets and medicine and fresh water and food and housing and settlement to the Ukrainian refugees that have come here. I've often thought, oh, I wonder if anybody's getting much needed supplies across the border to Ukraine. Here we are. So I find Nick and his family say what they're doing, and there's buildings over there that we just toured, they're storing everything that's needed in Ukraine. And then, Nick, every day your truck goes over, the Knights of Malta go over and deliver the food, right?
We are doing it 24 hours per day.
And the good thing is they don't bring it to depots. They bring it to the priests. They bring it to the convents. They bring it to the schools. And then it's distributed because they know who needs it.
Yeah. This is how we work. We are helping those who are really in need.
Yeah.
And because of our network, we know exactly what they need, when they need, and how much of the goods they need.
The closer to the ground you are, the more you're able to assist people, and there's nobody closer than the church.
No.
So you're doing that well. Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank
you're
you for
welcome.
what you're doing.
You're welcome.
Stick with us, folks, okay? I'd stay longer, but they're serving cake.
Yeah.
All right.
We are going.
Cardinal Dolan here. Appreciate you tuning in. You know, I'm continuing my journey on your behalf to let the refugees from Ukraine here in Poland, and yesterday in Slovakia, and tomorrow, please God, those who are still in Ukraine know that we love them and that we're praying with and for them and that we're advocating for them, and darn it, that we want to help them as much as possible. We've had a great day here in Shamil. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that name or not. All I know is it's sure not the Bronx, but anyway. It's a beautiful, magnificent medieval town. It's the closest town to the Ukrainian border. So they were kind of the first stop of those over 3 million refugees that fled Russian aggression in Ukraine. And they were processed here with a lot of warmth and compassion.
Whenever we can help it, we help it.
600 lunches a day, 8,000 tons of food. You know what gets me, though, and you can probably see, there's a sense of normalcy here. It's like the people haven't panicked. They're not frantic. They're kind of just coming together and in serenity and trust and helping one another. You see it so well oiled. So many volunteers, especially young people. Everything seems to be coordinated. Help, all to help those refugees. I just been amazed and inspired. I got to pass on to you because they'll tell me over and over again. Tell the folks in the United States how grateful we are for their help. Thank you for your faith and your hope.
One, thank you.
There's a universal language.
Yes, love.
They know that the food and the blankets and the clean water and the medicine are all because of your donations, folks. So thank you in their name. Stay tuned. We got a lot more to show you. Hi, everybody. Cardinal Timothy Dolan here, continuing our visit. We're actually in Ukraine now. We didn't know for sure if we'd be able to get here. But thanks be to God, we were able to leave Poland yesterday and come here to Ukraine. 94 years of age. Because as we mentioned yesterday, we know about the refugees that are in Poland and Slovakia. Remember, we visited some of them. He stopped talking after a bombing. But there's also suffering here in Ukraine. For instance, Yuri with the Knights of Columbus and my brother, Monsignor Mirtek, were telling me they need fresh water here in Ukraine because the Russians have poisoned some of the wells and the rivers. So this is more or less a depository. We're actually on the grounds of the seminary of the Latin Rite Archdiocese here in Lviv. And it's a big storage area. And every day they have the trucks come in to deliver and the trucks to take it out to the people. Thank you for all your work.
Thank you.
The people throughout Ukraine will make requests. We need water, we need clothes, we need medicine. And then the Knights of Columbus, in cooperation with Caritas, we saw Catholic Charities, are able to provide that. So you see, one of the reasons we came is to thank you for your generosity, and now you see where it's going. You are from Mariupol, so keep it up. We need it. Hi, everybody. Cardinal Timothy Dolan. Glad you're sticking with me. We appreciate your company. I'm here in Ukraine. We're in the beautiful city of Lvov. And we're now on the campus of the Catholic University of Ukraine, which enjoys good support from you folks back home, so thank you. Bohdan, not only, you're one of the students here.
Yep.
Okay, and not only are the students studying, but they're also very active in assisting the refugees, I understand.
Yeah, so we have plenty of different directions where we work with refugees and also people who got damaged because of the war. Here we are at the location of Humanitarian Aid Gathering Point, and we organize students and also refugees who came to our city to gather different stuff which is in high demand for soldiers and also people in the front line.
So refugees actually live here with you. Yes, we saw some. And then you have many supplies that people need, and you pack them and get them to those who need it, correct?
Yep. Correctly. We organize the different goods, which is also in high demand for refugees here, and try to support their demand. And we also try to integrate those people who got here, and we basically provided the settlement for refugees. Also try to include them into the work and packaging all this stuff.
Bohdan, my friend, told it to you better than I could, so thanks. We'll be back. Hi again, everybody. Cardinal Timothy Dolan here. I'm here in Ukraine, and I just wanted to share some of the inspiration that we feel in our visit here. This is my friend, the Archbishop, Monsignor Mirtek. And this is interesting. See, this was a convent of Franciscan sisters that was destroyed under the communists, all right? And it's empty now. But what the Archbishop is doing in his diocese is renovating this to be a center to receive orphans of the war. Now, not only, folks, is this a great act of charity, but it shows the planning and the thought and the concern that is going into all of this for long-range consideration. The Archbishop told me that even now, the refugees are staying here for a night or two because we're so near the border. Then they move on. But eventually, this is going to become a home for orphans, because sadly, it's always the women and children and the poor that suffer most during the war. So thank you, Archbishop, for this promising program. Hi, everybody. Cardinal Timothy Dolan. Kind of sad for us because it's our last day of our pilgrimage, and I call it that purposefully, to Poland, Slovakia, and Ukraine.
Кожен з
нас одного дня повернеться в Україну.
Just to see for ourselves the suffering of the Ukrainian refugees. She wants to go back to her house to let them know how much we love them and want to support them. So thanks for sticking with me. I'm here actually this morning at the home of the Cardinal Archbishop Kazimir of Warsaw. And this was a great breakfast that we had together. We had Mass earlier at the nunciature with the papal nuncio. Then we had a very enlightening breakfast, see? By the way, not bad. Have you ever had horseradish for breakfast? Boy, it goes great on kielbasa and toast, I tell you. Anyway, my sinuses are all cleared up. But he was very enlightening in speaking to us about the challenges that the faithful of Poland are encountering in their ardent desire to reach out with love and compassion and welcome the refugees. I really wanted to be here because this is where the great Cardinal Wyszynski, Stefan Wyszynski, lived. He was a towering patriarch of Poland after the Second World War, guiding the church in Poland in a very prophetic way under the communist oppression. He, of course, was the patron of a young man named Karol Wojtyła, who became a bishop here and would become Pope St. John Paul II. To be in his house, to offer Mass in the chapel where he offered Mass daily for 30 years, to be given the gift of a relic, which I intend to give to our Polish parish in Manhattan, where I'm going to go this Sunday, was a great thrill for me, enhancing my already deep affection and respect for the faith in Mother Poland. Today, by the way, is the feast of Our Lady Queen of Poland, so buona festa.